Okay, we are down in the basement, and I forgot to get my piece of paper out ahead of time, and it's in a different pocket, because that was my Walker Road one. 9660 Moss Rose Circle. We're in the, it is unfinished, we got some folks making use of the space, but we're going to go through this clean out. We have just this 3-inch of the sizable kind, and then a big 4-inch on the other side. So we should be able to make it all the way out from here, which will show us more of the sewer. So this is all ABS. I need to get a little more paper towel down here. Something's causing that to just consistently get a little bit of water running somewhere. So this is ABS, this is the black pipe, this is what's underneath the footprint of the house.
Okay.
And what we don't want to see is any big sections of serious standing water. Don't want to see any big goobers that suggest it's getting abused.
Clogged up or something.
Got a little lateral coming in there. Probably the kitchen, because see that lump of grease.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably the kitchen line tying in.
Okay.
It's pretty normal to see grease in that side.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good lump. Somewhere down the road, in a newer house like this, you really won't have to, as long as they didn't screw this up, as long as you don't have kids that flush a stuffed animal or something, you probably won't have a problem here if they did everything right. But you will still have your kitchen sink, your lab sinks, and your tubs get slow and plugged with grease and just hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you can learn how to use a little $15
Snake.
hand snake, you'll cure most of those things. Now, the kitchen one's a little bit more than that. That's probably a good 25 feet run.
Yeah.
This drop right here means we're out near the foundation wall.
Okay.
Right near that drop right there is probably that 4-inch clean out that's sticking up over there in the other room.
Okay. Oh, do we got something weird there?
Yeah, that is something kind of weird. I have no idea what that is. 14 years of looking at these and I've never seen anything sticking in the union like that. It seemed to move a little there, didn't it?
I don't know. Looking pretty solid to me.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's something wedged in there or if it's it flops back and forth. It's not real solid, whatever it is. You see it kind of moving there?
Yeah.
You need a little water running though. Could you go up and turn the cold water on in the kitchen sink?
Yeah.
I'll wait for you.
Yeah.
It's not blocking enough of the pipe to really give you any real problems.
Yeah. But it's weird.
It is odd. It's very odd. I've never really seen anything wedged in there like that.
So I guess my question is there a junction at this point? Like, is it a flaw when they made the pipe? What is that?
I'm wondering if what it is where they might have had part of the plumbing put in and they capped it with like a plastic bag or some kind of plastic that kept dirt from getting into the line while they were doing additional construction.
Yeah.
And then they kind of just tore it out and glued it back together, but weren't real thorough with that.
Yeah. Well, it seems kind of like it seems pretty stiff, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm not getting a good solid hit on it because it's just not quite in the middle of the flow.
Yeah.
I don't see any damage in the pipe there. It's just something odd to be there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to give you a lot of problems unless you're putting something down in there that shouldn't be. But if you wanted to request them have a cable go down through here and see if the blade of a drain cleaning cable could actually break that loose, whatever it is,
Yeah. Hi,
and
baby.
get rid of it.
Baby, this is Dan.
Hi, Dan. This is
Hi,
Jen.
nice
This
to
is my
see you.
wife.
But that's very odd. That's not something
Dan-
I've
Dan is
encountered
showing
in
me
an
some-
ABS pipe before.
Dan is showing me something he's never seen in 14 years.
Interesting.
So what? Yeah.
There's something in that union
See.
That
So-
bright-
Oh, yeah.
that's blocking about a third over there on the left-hand side, and
Yeah.
it has no reason for being there.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So, but the
I don't think it's going to give you major problems, but anything that sticks out like that could catch something, especially if it didn't belong in there, like a paper towel or feminine hygiene type stuff.
Yeah.
That could be bad. But I would see if a cable running down through there could chip that out of the way, because I really don't see anything about that union in the ABS that worries me about it.
okay.
It makes me wonder if they had done some kind of ad lib to cap it off while they were in the middle of construction, and just
Didn't
'cause there's
feel the way.
another line tying in right there, which I don't expect. I wonder. I'm gonna pause everything here real quick. Pause on you is that one, and pause on.
So 34 feet. You said where was that? We're just leaving the foundation.
Yeah, we're right over there by the foundation, but where'd my big remote go? There you are, you skinny little thing. I'll pause right there. Well, even little girls seem to be brighter than little boys. Alright, so we'll keep going now. So I think that right there, that hollow you can see right there, is
Yeah.
probably that clean out.
Okay, good.
Because that is our junction up there with the PVC. A
Yeah.
little bit of a belly here. It's not too bad. My lens on this camera is only about 1.25 inches tall, so as long as the water's not over the lens, it's less than 1 inch of water, it's not enough to cause you problems.
Okay. So it's just where it's meeting to the outside drain.
That was, yeah, it was just a little low.
Sorry, baby. Do you want to see?
No.
A good pipe shouldn't, the perfect slope never holds any water,
Yeah.
but in these 4-inch pipes, well, I'm not going to get stressed unless there's water up here. We don't want to see 3 inches of standing water.
Right.
And it's really clean. We're not seeing any buildup anywhere.
Thing isn't gonna snake out of someone's toilet next door, is it?
I would see it coming. See, now, this is a little flat again, but you can see all the way down through there that it never gets deep. But you see what will happen if you put grease and stuff in a sewer that does have little minor flaws, even in a new pipe. That's grease on both sides. That's kind of just adhering to the sides, because this section goes slow. And so over 20 years,
That grease builds up.
sediment's going to happen in there. And if you live here another 10 years, you may at some point want to have at least a cable run down through there and scrape some of that out of there.
Okay.
Because it will catch more over time. But that's the kind of thing where you clean it every 10 or 15 years, not every year, year and a half.
So where are we at now? We're halfway down the street, or?
We're out near the sidewalk now,
Okay. How far do you go?
till we see a city sewer.
Oh.
Because every millimeter of this sewer is yours. That glow up there ahead that we're seeing
All my problems.
is probably your tap. It's again another little flat up spot as we're coming into the end. It's still not deep enough to get stressed over. And that's our tap.
So that's where I'm at.
That's
Sewer.
out in the middle of the street.
Okay.
So, minor flaws in that it's got that weird floppy ear thing in there.
Yeah, that is weird.
It is kind of an oddity, and then a few little low spots, but they're all short and they're all shallow. They're really not the kind of thing that should cause you problems.
Okay.
We also have the kitchen water running, so if we turn that off, those little bellies would be even flat less.
Right. Okay.
So none of that is anything I would be worried about.
Oh, great. Okay.
So overall, I think you've got a good sewer. You might still want to have a cable go down there just to see if that white thing will break loose.
Yeah.
And maybe get some grease out. But
otherwise, we're okay for now.
yeah.
Good.
And if you want me to come back and look at it again, if you do decide to clean it,
Uh-huh.
and you want me to look and see if they got it, I'll do that for you. And that'll be free.
Cool. So do you plumb as well, or is this what you do? You
This
just
is all I
inspect?
do.
Oh, that's great.
How long does it take you to like learn what you're looking at? I'm like, well, that looks great to me.
Osmosis. I've been doing it for 15 years.
Oh yeah.
So what in the world did people do before the technology, right? It was just
Well,
good luck, right?
You would go out, if you were having problems, you'd just run out your cable until it wouldn't go anymore. Then, in the old days, you'd use witch's sticks,
Which is
divining rod.
Oh, right.
They actually work, especially if you know what you're doing with them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can take any piece of long, stiff wire and bend it, and if you have it sitting on your hand and it's just balancing, you're not influencing it at all, and you walk perpendicular to a pipe, it will swing and point when you cross over the top of the pipe.
Interesting.
Wow.
Oh,
But the slightest little tension
in your hand.
you give it can
Yeah.
totally screw it up.
Right.
So,
dig in the wrong place.
so just because it works doesn't mean
it always works.
it works for everyone every time.
Right.
But that was kind of the way they used to do it. They did it old school.
Wow.
It's getting steamy because he's got the dishwasher running and
Right.
it just dumped. So that's hot water in there now, and so a little bit of steam.
Have they put the roof in?
Yeah. That was sort of awkward. Yeah.
But the cable machines and stuff, they haven't changed much, except that used to be a lot of hand cranked ones.
Oh,
with the
really?
Smaller lines.
Oh, this guy, he retracts himself, huh?
Most of them now, and they all have the motor going, but I've seen one my father-in-law has on a lot next to him that it is huge. I would looked at it for 15 minutes and I was a drain cleaner and I didn't know what it was because it was so huge, but it was a municipal size one for doing big municipal sewers.
Huh.
So that thing's at 36 feet. We need to remember that just for the report. That thing had a huge gas power motor on it, and it was bigger. The whole thing together was bigger than that bed.
Push
On a
along
trailer,
down there.
yeah. Whoa, what are they running over here? I'll forgive them because I didn't tell them. But if it's Dave, footing his partner Brad, employee Brad, and the other guy who does these, he had one where he just kept forgetting I was down there.
Oh no. Running all kinds of stuff down
Oh man, he hit me like 3 different times with big waves of water.
Hey, stop.
Luckily I can hear him coming.
Yeah. Gotta be on your game, huh? Yeah, there's nothing awful. There's stuff, but I mean, then again, clearly that stuff. If you look, there is or maybe a leak in the condenser there. The furnace worked fine, but so the condenser may or may not have a leak in it. So that's not great. But, and then also, you see they got a little bit of leak on the wall. But that's probably not, I don't think that would be huge.
Watch yourself, don't touch.
Too late. I'll wash up.
This new camera has a different system of how it counts. And so the reel just is kind of a free floater in there. Please wait, that doesn't surprise me. But it just free floats in there, and this thing's also a 300-foot push rod, which is 100 foot more than I usually ever have.
Oh.
But the other system, it has a dual roller thing that holds it in place, so that never happens. But that roller is very fallible. Alright, so that failed the disc. So we're going to go to the email version. I'm going to email you the video
Okay.
off this flash drive.
Great.
Because the disc just failed and